In the digital age, where people communicate via text and video instead of in-person conversations, ambiguity and miscommunication are at an all-time high. Without traditional body language to convey tone and meaning, what, when, and how to say things is often confusing. Online communication is tricky, but one thing is for sure, with hundreds of nonverbal cues stripped away, it's important to make every word count. Anthropologist Edward T. Hall once said that most communication happens without words. He called it the silent language. As much as 3/4 of face-to-face interactions are nonverbal. This might mean a smile, a wider stance, or a nervous laugh, small gestures that carry emotional weight and tell us more about the people we are dealing with and how they are feeling. Studies have found that people misinterpret the tone and meaning of emails 50% of the time without these cues. A period is now a sign of displeasure, aggression, or boredom. An exclamation point is a declaration of friendship and approval. Punctuation gives context to your message. It allows the reader to decipher tone, which is crucial for interpersonal communication, and sometimes even more important than the message you're communicating. If you don't use punctuation correctly, it can be easy to come off as rude, insensitive, or angry. So when you're typing a message to someone, make sure you take the time to think about punctuation. The first law of digital body language is simple: show your work. This means that in a world driven by instant communication, it's easy to assume that people already know what you think, where you stand, or how you feel, and that they understand how much you appreciate their work. But there's a disconnect here, one that we must close by being proactive to give praise. The second law of digital body language is communicating carefully. To ensure that people understand you as clearly as possible, you'll need to hone your word choice, punctuation, and other nuances. First impressions are important, and they often reflect in the way a person communicates. This is why it's important to be careful about how you communicate online through your words and actions. With the dawn of the digital age, body language has changed significantly. Collaborating confidently is the third law of digital body language. If you want to build a strong reputation and loyal following, you have to engage in consistent communication with your audience. And that means keeping them informed about what's happening on your end and staying mindful of their responses. Check-ins are important when working with teams and clients, whether it's over the phone or in person. Keep teams informed and on track. Ensuring that you stay consistent in how you communicate your message will help ensure that colleagues are always confident in your intent. Use explicit goals to keep your team aligned and accountable. Companies should set clear, unambiguous goals for each member of their team to ensure that they're looking out for the project's best interests as a whole. When the fourth law of digital body language is in place, trust, teams are empowered to take calculated risks without fear. Each player has the freedom to go all out, contribute their ideas, and step out of their comfort zone. When you make it clear to your coworkers that you trust them, they will feel comfortable trying and experimenting with new things. Likewise, if you are confident in your ability to bounce back after a mistake, there's no reason you can't trust yourself and others to succeed. Gender biases are real in our society, but luckily, we're in a day and age where the digital world is beginning to level the playing field. An online platform should be striving to eliminate implicit bias as much as possible. With every email you compose and every document you write, try to keep an open mind when considering your audience. Nobody is exempt from gender bias, and it's important to remember that we all carry implicit biases.